Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you guys for being here. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I'm kind of just going to go ahead and get into it. As you guys may or may not know, Don Lemon was arrested last night in LA. He planned on going to LA to, this also lets you know, like, this was very targeted because he had planned on going to LA for the Grammys. He's going to be there this weekend. And so he was arrested last night. His lawyer did put out a statement. I just want to go ahead and read it to you guys, just in case you guys aren't aware of what's going on. And mind you, it's 6:57 in the morning here in California, so he hasn't been to court yet. You know, a lot of people are like, "Oh, has he gone to court?" Well, not yet because it's still early in the morning. It said Don Lemon was taken into custody by federal agents last night in Los Angeles, where he was covering the Grammy Awards. Don has been a journalist for 30 years, and his constitutionally protected work in Minneapolis was no different than what he has always done. The First Amendment exists to protect journalists whose role is to shine light on truth and hold those in power accountable. There is no more important time for people like Don to be doing this work. Instead of investigating the federal agents who killed two peaceful Minnesota protesters, the Trump Justice Department is devoting its time and attention and resources to this arrest, and that is the real indictment of wrongdoing in this case. The unprecedented attack on the First Amendment and transparent attempt to distract attention from many crises facing the administration will not stand. Don will fight these charges vigorously and thoroughly in court. So that was from his lawyer, Abbe Lowell. For those of you who don't know who Abbe Lowell is, he's the one that represented Hunter Biden. For those of you who don't know, he represented Hunter Biden. Whether you like Don or not, this is wild. Yes, and that's the thing that I want to point out too. And thank you for that. And hello, everybody coming in the room. Son, Shawnee, Prissy, Claudette, my father's son. It's the fact that no matter what side of the aisle you're on, if the president has the power to arrest journalists, that's scary. And especially one thing about it is that literally when we talk about, oh, America, we got the freedom of speech and stuff like that, it's turning into Russia. And sooner or later, it's going to turn into North Korea. You know why Trump likes Putin and he likes Kim Jong-un? Because he wants to be able to control us like that. He wants us not to be able to criticize him or say things about him. He wants to arrest journalists and have people shut their mouths and only say things that are nice to him or nice about him and his administration and praise him. You know, it's one thing we already got Fox News. That's basically state-run media. I mean, he calls into Fox News almost every morning, or at least they have someone from the administration on the show all the time. You know? So yeah, Fox News is already state-run media. But the other thing about it is that you see like the CBS with Barry Wise and like all these people who are catering towards Trump. Like he's been able to sue these media companies and these networks and they pay him off. Like they're not even fighting it. They pay him off. And like they will edit and change shows around based on what Donald Trump says and how he feels. Like no one is fighting back. Like that same resistance in 2017, we don't have that today. There is no resistance. Like everybody is literally caving in, capitulating to whatever Trump wants done. And it's all like, seriously? Like, really? And, you know, and when we talk about new media and stuff like that, I know there was a conversation like, oh, they're trying to silence new media because of these lawsuits. Oh, no. This is the real, you know, silencing of media when you get arrested. Media outlets have always been sued. That's nothing new, right? Media outlets have always been sued. That's nothing. That's not an attack on new media. This right here, this shit right here, this is an actual attack on media, Yeah, and he's suing the IRS, which you're ahead of you're the head of the federal government. You are the executive branch, and you're suing. Thank you, Bama Girl. You're suing the IRS. Which Bama Girl, when they exposed his taxes, he barely paid anything on his taxes. So remember that he was hiding his taxes and didn't want to show people. Like one year he paid $450 or something crazy like that. Some like small minuscule amount. What's up, Tracy? You said Yvette said something. What's up, Joy? Trump doesn't care if he gets a conviction. It's about embarrassing Lemon. This too will backfire. Yeah, because the magistrate had originally said no to it, and then somehow they're able to go around that and then still charge Don Lemon. And it's actually not just Don Lemon, you guys. It's another journalist that got arrested too. Let me see if I can go ahead and, because I forgot what her name is. I'm not familiar with her so much. So I just want to make sure I get her name right. Some of y'all probably already put it in the chat, but I just want to pull this up. So this is from Here's Why Kevin. I follow him on Instagram. Georgia Fort, that's what her name is. And so she was also there too as well. Denitria, read my comment. He needs to be in jail. Yes, I agree. Yeah, Lady Letitia. He needs to, technically he's a felon. He does need to be in jail. Nikki talked about getting him arrested. She doesn't know she's going next. Lemon had a show this weekend. He's messing. Yeah, like I said, he's there for the Grammys. He's there for the Grammys this weekend. So this is definitely crazy. That's why I'm all like, okay, this sounds like it was definitely targeted. So it says Emmy Award-winning independent journalist Georgia Fort has also been arrested by federal agents for covering the anti-ICE protests at a church in Minneapolis, despite being members of the press. These arrests come days after the magistrate judge in Minnesota refused to sign the complaint for their arrest. According to her team, Georgia was arrested in front of her children. That's crazy. The Trump DOJ is targeting journalists in their first arrest. Their first arrest are two Black independent journalists. Because my question is, are the protesters going to be arrested? Because what they're trying to say is that Don was a part of this coup to interrupt the church or enter in the church. Now, I know that one of the women is from the NAACP, and she was arrested, but as I understand, she's fighting it because she said that they had permission to go inside that church. Now, there are some kind of protections that they have regarding the church, as far as people enter in, because it's supposed to be private and you're supposed to be allowed to worship, right? There is a law. But again, with Don Lemon, he's a part of the press. He's reporting on what's going on. Now, you're going to have a tough time trying to prove that he was a part of it or he was in on it when it's documented, because again, this is all on live stream when he was talking to the protesters and they were like, oh, we're about to go in this church. You didn't see Don planning with them or organizing this or orchestrating this at all. So again, this is Nikki's get back for shading her last week. Yeah, I can see that. And thank you. I appreciate that. MS Now just said Don was not surprised and they came for him. Well, speaking of not surprised, Don did see this coming. I told you in the title, Lemon knew this was coming. So let me go ahead and show you guys that right now. One moment while I share my screen. He had just did an interview on this. This is the crazy part. Here we go. You guys ready? Let me make sure the sound is on.
Right now, we're happy to announce she is joining Scripps News as a special events anchor. And she is already hitting the ground running today, bringing us an exclusive interview with Don Lemon days after he...
Okay, let's go ahead and get those likes up real quick, you guys. And thank you, everybody, for coming in the room. Yes, and definitely prayers for Don Lemon. Hopefully he will. He will overcome. We don't have to necessarily say that. He gonna get through it. Don got money, and he got one of the best lawyers. So, he's definitely gonna... He gonna be all right. But still, who wants to be in jail? And especially when you're supposed to be there for work. Like you guys say, they're messing up the money. Thank you, Demetria, for keeping track. I appreciate that. We got 150 people in here, so we can definitely go ahead and get those likes up. Here we go.
He was involved in that ICE protest inside that Minneapolis church. Hey, Allison. Good to see you again. What was Don's demeanor during the interview? What did he have to say about Minnesota?
Well, Del, it was really interesting to sit down with my longtime friend, former colleague from CNN, Don Lemon. I would say that Don was calm. He was resolute. He was unapologetic about everything that happened in that St. Paul, Minnesota church. He says he was just there acting as a journalist. He thinks that he was protected by the First Amendment in order to be inside that church covering the protest. But he also does believe that this tension with the Department of Justice is not yet over for him.
You tell me. With this administration, you don't know. Look, I'm not naive. I think they're probably going to try again and again, as they did with Tish James and Comey and everyone. If one doesn't work, then they try something else, and that fails, and they try something else, and then they just don't give up because they want to save face. But I don't know what's next. I think what's next is that I have to be in it for the long haul, and and just to be strong as always, and keep calm and carry on.
Because this federal magistrate judge said that they didn't have a case. Basically, the Department of Justice said that they didn't have a case. I mean, the judge said the Department of Justice didn't have a case. But you think that it's not over?
No, I think it's not over. Because it doesn't matter if there's no law to fit. They will try to fit or retrofit something or go around a judge and just do it themselves. And it doesn't matter. And everything that they say pertains to protesters. I was not a protester. It's very clear about that. If you look at all the evidence, I'm not a protester. And so I think, Allison, not that I think I know, I was the biggest name. And so if they get a Don Lemon, woohoo, that's a victory. And also, I'm the one who put the information out there.
Yeah, so Del, that's what Don feels. He does not think that this is over whatsoever, and he's sort of waiting for the other shoe to drop. But as I said, he's going to, as he said, he's going to keep calm and carry on and keep reporting and keep doing his independent journalism.
So there you have it. He knew this was coming. He knew they were going to keep trying. Like, he knew it wasn't done. And that was smart for him to hire a lawyer, because he's seen it coming. He knew, like, they're going to keep trying and pushing and pushing and pushing. And they did. Because Minnesota didn't do it, so they went ahead and filed it federally. Now, again, they have not went to court, so it's not unsealed yet, so we don't know. Breaking news. Oh, it seems like they're going live. Are they going live? Because I just happened to look at Don Lemon's channel, and they have a live schedule for 7 a.m., but maybe that was before everyone knew what was going on. Yeah, that's crazy. I just happened to look on his channel, and there's like a live set, but yeah, I don't know if they're gonna have somebody else fill in for him while everything is happening, but it's ridiculous, you guys. It really is. It truly is ridiculous. Because at the end of the day, This is why we have independent journalists. Like, we love independent journalists. Like, this is the whole point of like not being bought and paid for. As we've seen, like I said earlier, with the Trump administration, they're able to manipulate these different networks and stuff like that to get them to say positive shit or not report on the real stuff that's going on because they're afraid, or they're working on some kind of deal for a merger and those have to be approved. So they give in, they tap in. He sues them, they pay him off. Like, it's crazy what's going on. First of all, I didn't even think you could sue as a president. Like, I didn't even think that was a thing, because you would think, Tracy, that all the stuff that they said about Obama, I would have definitely sued. I think most presidents probably wanted to sue someone to shut them up, but they didn't because, again, they didn't want to try to influence the courts and stuff like that. But with Trump, he doesn't care. Like, you can tell, like, this whole, and mind you, this only has been a year, you guys. We're only a year into his administration. A year. And it feels like it's been 30 years. I think because it's been about 10 years in total of Trump. This is why it feels so long, but it just feels like it's been more than a year, I swear. But anyway, my point is that with everything going on, like, Trump knows this is like his final battle. So he's like trying just to ruin the country is one, but two, he's out for revenge. This whole thing is about being out for revenge. Oh, so I have CNN on the TV, and the other journalist that was arrested, Georgia Fort, I guess she recorded when they let me see if I can find that somewhere. She recorded when they came to her home. Can we see it? Let me see. Dang, is the video online yet? Wow. Yeah, but the woman, Georgia Fort, the other journalist that was arrested, she recorded it. Wow. And to be arrested in front of your kids, like, have you ever seen like a family member be arrested in front of you as a child? It does affect you, you know? I feel bad for her children. This is wild. Like, I don't know what else to say. This is not normal. And again, people are going to say, oh, this is fear mongering. This is this and that. No, it's not fear mongering. The shit is not normal. And to pretend that it's normal, you're the problem if you pretend like this shit is normal. Let me just say that. You are the problem if you think this shit is normal. Okay, it does seem like someone does have it. Hold on, let me see. Let me take this down.
Agents are at my door right now. They're saying that they were able to go before a grand jury sometime, I guess, in the last 24 hours, and that they have a warrant for my arrest. I've talked to my attorney, and I'm being advised to go with them, I guess, down to Whipple. And my children are here. They're impacted by this. This is all stemming from the fact that I filmed a protest as a member of the media. We are supposed to have our constitutional right of the freedom to film, to be a member of the press. I don't feel like I have my First Amendment right as a member of the press. because now federal agents are at my door arresting me for filming the church protest a few weeks ago. Again, I don't have a long time here, you guys, but I wanted you to know, for me, agents are at my door right now. My attorney has spoken with them. I did send a relative outside to talk to them. They're showing some type of documentation, apparently, that they got an indictment from a grand jury. I knew that agents are at my door right now. They're saying that they were able to go before a grand jury sometime, I guess, in the last 24 hours, and that they have a warrant for my arrest. I've talked to my attorney and I'm being advised.
Okay, it cut off a little bit. Let me see if somebody else has the full thing. Let me see.
Do you want to wear my black shoes? You guys, I wanted to alert the public that agents are at my door right now. They're saying that they were able to go before a grand jury sometime, I guess, in the last 24 hours, and that they have a warrant for my arrest. I've talked to my attorney and I'm being advised to go with them, I guess, down to Whipple. And my children are here. They're impacted by this. This is all stemming from the fact that I filmed a protest as a member of the media. We are supposed to have our constitutional right of the freedom to film, to be a member of the press. I don't feel like I have my First Amendment right as a member of the press because now federal agents are at my door arresting me for filming the church protest a few weeks ago. Again, I don't have a long time here, you guys, but I wanted you to know, for me, agents are at my door right now. My attorney has spoken with them. I did send a relative outside to talk to them. They're showing some type of documentation, apparently, that they got an indictment from a grand jury. I knew that I was on a defendant's list. I did not publish it because it was under seal. And so we've done everything that we can to try and abide by, you know, the advice of our attorneys. But right now, you guys, I wanted you to know I'm going to have to hop off here and surrender to agents as a member of the press. I filmed the church protest a few weeks ago, and now I'm being arrested for that. It's hard to understand how we have a constitution, constitutional rights, when you can just be arrested for being a member of the press. We've seen all these violations. All right, you guys, I gotta go. They're knocking.
Yep, she's coming right now.
Give me 1 second. All right, guys.
You want to?
That's crazy. And for those of you asking, so it's still sealed because you got to remember, Minnesota is Central Time, and then California is Pacific Standard Time. So the court, well, Minnesota, the courts are open, but here the courts are not open yet. So I highly doubt that, you know, we'll get any update with her as of right now. But with Dawn, it's probably not going to be until noon we get an update, because again, they're sealed until they go to court. So we will see what they're being charged with. Again, a lot of people, because I seen, it was like this black pastor who said, oh, if Don Lemon tries to come to my church and stuff like that. Here's the thing. The reason why they were even protesting the church, or the protesters had went there, was because allegedly that pastor works for ICE. And so they were protesting, like, how can you say that you're a man of the cloth, but yet you're out here trying to round people up and you're a part of this state-funded, because that's what ICE is now. It's state-funded terrorism. They out here beating, killing people. Yeah, it's state-funded terrorism. So anyway, in my opinion, right? So with that being said, they had got notified, like, yeah, this pastor is the one that works for ICE. Now, ICE had never actually, director of ICE. Now, ICE is still not confirmed whether or not the pastor works for them or not. My thing is that, well, if he doesn't work for you, then you would easily say this pastor doesn't work for me, right? Why is there this whole give and take of whether or not the pastor, like you would just say, no, he doesn't work for us. But obviously he does work for them. Oh, y'all said Don Lemon is live, you guys? They went live? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and shut down my show so we can watch and see what happens over there. I appreciate you guys for being here, but thank you. Hit the like button on the way out. Subscribe to the channel for more. Hit the notification bell. Thank you guys for being here. We're out of here.